Hey guys, it's Lance at Mac Sound Solutions. Today we're going to set up Time Machine so we can back up our external user account like I've been showing in my past Mac Mini videos. Check those out if you haven't seen them yet. And today's video sponsor is FlexiSpot. So we're going to back up our external user and all of our apps and our internal applications as well as the data from our internal Macintosh HD. So let's get to it. But before we do, a quick word from our sponsor, FlexiSpot. Look at that mess, folks. They gave me the E7B Pro standing desk and I set it up in my studio today. It took me maybe, 40 minutes to put it together. There it is. It's pretty easy. It weighs a ton. Don't try and carry the box up the stairs. I took all the pieces out one at a time because it does weigh a lot, but it's built like a tank, rock solid, really cleaned up my work setup instead of the two little stands I had before. I absolutely love it. And you can store two presets, one for sitting, one for standing, so it always goes to the same height, which is really nice. And it really cleaned up my work area. I still have to do some cleaning up of the cables, but I'm always moving stuff around. I never leave stuff in one place. And you have a cable organizer that gets connected to the underside of the back of the desk. The quality of the top is awesome. It came in a separate box a day later, and I'm editing my video on it with the latest version of Final Cut Pro 11 and my Mac Mini. They've got many different tops and leg colors to choose from and different sizes as well. This one is 24 inches by 48, perfect for the space I needed here. And listen to that quality wood. And as you can see, the table is extremely steady when you're going from one preset to the other, standing and sitting. It's silky smooth, and this thing can handle up to 440 pounds of weight on it. That's more than I can lift, folks. Way more. Look at that glass of water. Barely moving. Really impressive. It's honestly the most stable standing desk I've come across. I am putting pressure on that, trying to budge it, and it will not budge. Let's try it again. The wide legs give it really good support. I can't knock this table over without really lifting. And you can pick one up with my discount code, link in the description. Okay, let's set up Time Machine. So if you're familiar with Time Machine, you may not need to watch this video, but if you're not, I'm kind of new to Time Machine. I've always used Carbon Copy Cloner, but anyway, we're going to go through Time Machine today. So after using it for a while, I like it. I have to say, I think it's pretty cool. So if you look here, as soon as you plug in a new unformatted hard drive, or rather formatted, you get this message that says Time Machine can back up your Mac. Do you want to use this disk? And you can go into options and go to setup. We'll go to setup Time Machine. Now, Time Machine is located in general settings and down here at the bottom, Time Machine. So we click on that. We're going to add a backup disk, which is going to be my untitled disk out here. So we're going to hit add backup and we're going to select our untitled disk. Setup disk. Now it's going to reformat the drive. It's going to erase everything on it. If Time Machine doesn't see the drive at all, that means you have to format it first in APFS, but chances are it's probably formatted in exFAT and Time Machine will reformat it. So we're going to hit Setup Disk. Now, do we want to encrypt our disk? Yes, because if somebody walks away with your Time Machine backup, they're walking away with all your data. They can't get into it if it's encrypted. If it's not encrypted, if you have this turned off, they can access all your data. So we're going to encrypt it, and we have to give it a password that you're not going to forget. And then we're going to set disk usage limit. It's never good to completely fill up your hard drive all the way till there's no space left at all, because it can really cause issues. So that's probably why they have that in here. So we're going to knock it down to 100 gigabytes left. So we're going to hit done. And now it's formatting it. As soon as you select the drive that you want to use, Time Machine starts backing up almost immediately. But you can come into options here and select what you don't want Time Machine to back up. Obviously, you don't want to back up your Time Machine to your Time Machine drive. We're going to exclude our Time Machine. See, it says exclude from backups. Not going to include our Time Machine drive, and we're not going to include Orico 2 terabyte. If you wanted to also back up that drive, you just hit minus. The only thing it's not going to back up now is the Time Machine. So I'm going to add the drives I don't want it to back up. So we're going to come down here. I don't want to back up my Orico 2 terabyte. So we're going to add that to the exclusion list. It will not back it up, but it is set to back up our Macintosh HD and my HomeX, which is my external home drive with all my iCloud data with 2 different user accounts. My main one is this one, Lance X. You can see that's the active home folder that I am currently logged into. There are all the folders. So yeah, we're going to be backing our external home folder up, and we're going to be backing up our internal data. We're going to be backing up all of this stuff as well. So our internal apps and our external apps, basically both of these drives are going to get backed up. And it's doing it now. It's copying, it's up to 124 gigs already. It's a very good idea to have a large Time Machine drive. I only have 2 terabytes and I'm using it for the demo. But if I was really going to use this, I have a 2 terabyte home drive and I have a 256 gig internal. You always want to have a bigger Time Machine drive than the data you're backing up. And Time Machine does backups incrementally. It takes snapshots of your drives that you're backing up, and each day as you build up more data on your drives, it's going to make larger snapshots. But it's not copying everything every time you make a backup. It's only doing it incrementally. So when it says, 350 gigs, that's the whole Time Machine backup. Even though there might be 6 Time Machine backups, the only data that's really being taken up on the drive is 350 gigs because it's just a picture of each time it did the backup. And if you added 20 gigs, then it's going to be 20 gigs bigger on the next backup. So we'll let our Time Machine finish backing up, and then we're going to have a look at what's inside. Okay, so we get a little message. Our Time Machine backup is complete. So let's go look at that real quick. Close out of this. And there's our Time Machine drive. It's got a new icon representing Time Machine. And there's our first backup. Now you can set Time Machine to backup. If you hold down Control or Alt-click on it, you can tell it to back up right away, or open Time Machine settings, and you can go in here and set up your options of how often. Automatically every hour, automatically every day, automatically every week. So I believe it's whenever you walk away from your computer and the screensaver goes on, you're not using it, or your screen goes to sleep, it will start running the Time Machine backup. So we're going to set it for automatically every day, not every hour. Because if you have it on every hour, you're probably going to be in the middle of working a project. It's going to start backing up and it might slow things down. But that's your preference. We'll go look at our Time Machine backup. So there's our first backup, and inside is HomeX, which is a total copy of this drive. Okay, we're going to look at it. Okay, so here is our Time Machine backup of the HomeX drive, and here's the HomeX drive. They are exactly the same. Cool. So we got all our home drive data backed up, including our 2 users and our applications, etc. Then we also have what they call data. The reason they don't call it Macintosh HD is because it's not copying the OS. So if you look here, our system on our backup is only 9.8 megs because those are just some settings that we have. The actual system is 22.98 gigs, and basically Time Machine does not back up the operating system. It just backs up your settings in the OS folder. So if we look in here, there's just a library, right? If we look in the system, there's other stuff. Applications, because that's what comes with your system, okay? But these are only the apps that get installed with Mac OS. You see Final Cut's not in there. These are only the Mac OS installed apps. So they do not get backed up on your backup. Let's look in applications on our backup, and you see none of the Mac OS installed apps are on the backup. So the point being, if you have a problem with your system, you just reinstall the OS in recovery mode. Then you migrate back in the data that you have backed up with Apple's migration tool. It will put all your settings and whatever other applications you have installed, like I have Air Video, I got Blackmagic ATEM Switcher, Dante Controller, those will all get reinstalled from our data backup. And that's why they call it data, not Macintosh HD, right? So again, we look at our backup, we got data, which is our data off the Macintosh HD, excluding the operating system and the apps that come with it. And then we have our HomeX, which is everything on our HomeX drive. Everything is backed up, which is cool. Okay, so now I'm going to do another thing to show you how Time Machine works. So we've got one backup, but what if here I have a video, I'm just going to call this deleted video. Okay, let's say we just recorded that video on here. I'm going to do a quick Time Machine backup so that that is in our Time Machine backup because I renamed it. Therefore, it's not backed up yet. It's a new file since our last Time Machine backup, especially if you're doing it on a daily basis, not hourly. You're going to go to Time Machine, you're going to alt-click on it, and you're going to go backup now. Okay, so this is going to back up whatever changes I've made since the last backup. It's going to be very quick. All right, it is now backed up. That was fast because it was only one file that it had to back up, right? So now I'm going to delete this video file. It's gone. Oh my God, I deleted the wrong file. So what do? Well, we go to our Time Machine. We're going to go to my user's desktop, which is Lance X desktop, and I don't see the video file, right? But if I go back one Time Machine, there it is. Deleted video. Again, we deleted it, we did it, ran a backup, and this is our latest backup. That file no longer exists. But if we want to get that file back, because we didn't really mean to delete it, we can click on the deleted video and hit restore. Okay, and there is our deleted video file. And that's why it's called Time Machine, because you can go back in time and resurrect a file that you deleted. Okay, here's another case. So I did a Time Machine backup yesterday. I brought in a bunch of camera files today. I deleted a bunch of camera files today, but I deleted one I didn't want to delete. It would still be gone because Time Machine had not created a new backup with those files on my computer. So, maybe you want to have it set to hourly. I haven't tried it to see if it's running in the background and affecting performance, but I am going to try that and see how it goes. But you get the idea. The only way Time Machine can resurrect a file is if you did a backup with that file on the computer. If you didn't do a backup during the time the file was on there and then you deleted it, you're not going to be able to resurrect it. You're not going to be able to bring it back from the dead in Time Machine. And again, you can just go into your Time Machine and find that file as well. Okay, so here's the backup that removed where I had that file removed. Here's the old backup with the file on it. So I can come into HomeX, I can come into my desktop of that user, and here is the file before I renamed it deleted video. So it's in there. Now if I go to the newer Time Machine backup, there it is. It's there. So now let's talk about, say your home folder goes belly up, totally corrupted. We got a new drive, HomeX is dead, and we want to put all our data from our external home folder onto the Orico. It's very simple. You go to your latest Time Machine backup, open this up, and just drag these babies on there. I'm not going to do it because then it's going to copy all that stuff. But that's it. And then you have to go to your system settings, you go to group, users and groups, and hold down the control key, find your same account, go to advanced user settings, and choose your new drive location and click on your home folder. And bingo, you're back up and running. Even though your old drive is dead, your time machine saved your butt. And the same thing applies to your data. If your Macintosh HD dies, totally dead, of course, it's a Mac, you're going to have to take it to the Apple Store and get a new drive put in it, or have somebody who knows how to do that. It's not that simple a process. But let's just say your data gets corrupt and you need to reformat the internal drive and put your settings back on there. You're going to boot into recovery mode, you're going to reinstall Mac OS, and then you are going to use Apple's migration tool. We'll get the migration assistant. Okay, so now continue. We're going to log out of our account here. Migration assistant. Continue. Okay, we want to transfer our data from a time machine backup. Continue. There's our backup. Select time machine backup or start this to transfer its information to this Mac. Continue. And now we're going to pick Mac Mini data. That is our internal data, and we want to pick the most recent one. So we're picking that. We're going to hit continue, and it's preparing source. And that's basically it. Now you can choose. Now, not to be confused, there's my internal user. There's Lance X with 0 kilobytes. This user's home is relocated and will not be copied, because those are our external users, right? They're on the HomeX drive. So now we're going to migrate our applications, our backup user, all other files and folders, and that's anything that you have on the internal drive and system network. As you can see, I have almost nothing in there. I got 4 gigs, and that's it. You're going to hit continue, and then your computer is going to be totally back up and running. So you put in a new operating system, you migrated your data from Time Machine, and you copied over your home drive folders onto the new external drive from your Time Machine backup, and you're good to go, thanks to Time Machine. The other thing I want to mention is Time Machine, once it fills up your backup drive, the Time Machine drive, it starts deleting the oldest backups. So it's going to remove them to free up space for more current backups. So that's something to keep in mind, because a very old file that you deleted will no longer be recoverable. And it's always a good idea to have a second backup of your photos, of your documents. You can always have a secondary backup drive that you just drag your whole home folder on there, your user folder, and all your photos and everything will get copied to that external drive. So now what happens if we go in and we delete one of our snapshots, thinking we're going to free up some space on our Time Machine? It's not something you have to worry about, because Time Machine is going to do that for you as it gets full. So I'm going to delete that, and as you can see, nothing changed. There's still the same amount of available space. So I'm going to go delete another one. You would think, oh, okay, 319 gigs are going to go away. But no, these are snapshots. They contain a lot of the same information. Again, I deleted it. Nothing changed. And I'm going to delete the last one, and you would think that would free up the drive now, but it doesn't. These snapshots are hidden. You cannot just delete them this way. So now, just to show you, I'm going to do another Time Machine backup, and it's going to take just a few seconds, because even though I deleted those backups, Time Machine has not. They're still on the drive, and that's why the drive never changed in the amount of data when I deleted those backups. So watch, Time Machine just takes a couple of seconds and it creates a new Time Machine file, and all our data is still in there. So you literally cannot delete your data without reformatting the drive, just completely erasing it, or you have to use Terminal to go in there and delete each snapshot. But there's no reason to do that. Time Machine will delete the older backups when it needs more space to operate. And that basically wraps it up, folks. Hope this was helpful. So Time Machine, it's an awesome tool. I really dig it, and I want to thank FlexiSpot for sending me this awesome table. I'm using it every day as my little studio setup now. Having a standing desk is awesome because I can stand and edit now as opposed to sitting on my butt all day. It's made out of really solid quality wood. I love it. So thank you, FlexiSpot, for sponsoring this video. And please subscribe to my channel, give me that thumbs up, and I'll see you on the next Mac Sound Solutions video.